Hey besties! Oh my god, guys, it's been literally a month since I posted on my YouTube channel, and I'm so happy that I get to post. Y'all like my little stand for my mic? It's literally it's just a nail file. One of my 80/80 grit files that I be selling. Yeah. She is my little helper for my mic, and it's helping because I just feel like I need like my hand to be occupied while I'm talking, you know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, so today is officially December 7th. I was supposed to post all last month, but y'all, I've been vlogging and I have so much footage that it's just been delaying the time of me posting, and I want to get a video out there, so I'm excited. Let me just make this video now and then post my vlog whenever I finish my vlog, right? Okay. I also have not been around to tell you guys some nail gems. So I'm like, let me make today a day where I tell you guys some tea, some gems, and it's just the perfect way to end off 2025 and start the new year by letting you guys know how to make at least $6,000 a month. Yes, it's very much possible. Very, very, very much possible as a nail technician. And first of all, I just want to say, can I believe we're at the end of the year? I cannot believe it. I feel like January me would just like be so proud, but also so shocked of like the things that have happened during 2025. How do y'all feel about this year? I feel like every year we always see people say like this year was terrible, gotta try again next year. But honestly, I'm very proud how I've been this year in 2025. I feel like I've been just growing as a person, as an adult, and as a business owner, just as an individual, period. And I just cannot wait to see like who I will be at the end of 2026, because I just know I'm going to be such a more mature and level-headed person. I just cannot wait to see where my business will be too, because one thing I've been saying since I've started this channel is that I want to do classes, and I kid you not, y'all, I think I've done about 5 or 6 classes since 2025, since I've started, and that was only in May. So the fact that I've been able to do so many since I've said I want to do some, it's just really helped me, because now I have so many more ideas for my classes, just to help more small businesses and more girls like me, just like make sure that they grow. And I genuinely really love what I do, so I'm really happy that I've been able to do that. It just feels so refreshing, and eventually down the line, like I've said, I do eventually want to stop doing nails, but it's because I want to do more teaching full-time. Okay, so it's not like I'm like leaving this business. No, I just really like helping people, and I kind of want to transition into doing something else one day. So yeah, that's basically that. First of all, also I haven't gave y'all an update on how I look. Do y'all see my upper body? Y'all see my upper body? I know y'all see that. Look at that. Do y'all see this pump that I'm getting? Like, oh, I can't. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, please don't embarrass me like that. Please don't ever. I'm drinking tea through my Hello Kitty mug. Let's try it. I haven't drank it yet. Okay, it's raspberry tea with peppermint. It's raspberry and peppermint tea. It's helped me with my bloating, because I've been bigging my back. But whatever. Let's get into the video. No more talking. No more chatting. Got my handy dandy iPad. She's new too. She's also new. But I got my handy dandy iPad out because I just felt like I needed to make sure I had notes. So I came out and gave y'all as much as I possibly can for what I was thinking about. I brainstormed this in like 5 minutes. So I got what I got, and this is what y'all gonna get. Okay, if y'all want a part 2, I can do that. But this is what we got for today. Okay. How to make $6,000 a month as a nail tech in 2026. So yes, like I've said, it's very much possible to do that while doing just nails. I just want to make sure that you guys know that the most important thing that we have to normalize and understand is that if you're just doing nails, regardless if you're just doing nails or not, there is so much money that can be made off of not being behind the table, which is why I always tell people, like, it's very, very much important to do things such as creating content, selling products, selling other products like maybe nail supplies or stuff like that, because even if you're not making that many sales, you're still making more money than you would have if you were not selling those products. So you have to change your mindset to certain things. But even if you made an extra $500 that year for just selling those things, that's still more than you would have made if you didn't do that. You know what I'm trying to say? But other than that, so let's start with the first thing that I like to talk about. It's just going to be profit. A lot of the times we're making a lot of money, but we're not seeing the money because we're spending it back on our business, because at the end of the day, this is our baby. This is our child, right? Sometimes we got to realize what we can't, like what we should and should not be spending our money on. Some things we got to let go of. If you're a beginner, I honestly should not even see Valentino in your inventory. I'm sorry, but you need to go a couple notches down and go get some Mia Secret, some Young Nails, something else. I should not be seeing a whole Valentino line and you're barely booked. You're charging $80. No, you're charging $80 for freestyle. Yeah, you're charging $80 or less for certain services, and let alone you're not even like really that good yet. Babes, I need you to take it down a couple notches and get other brands like D&D, Young Nails, McCart, Born Pretty, Cutie Gel, Melody Susie. You have Mia Secret, Glam Glitz is another one, Beatles, IBD, things like that. Or even invest into a vendor like I do. This whole line right here, this whole line of products right here in this little shelf are all products from a vendor, right? My monomer that I get at times is typically sometimes from a vendor. My files are from vendors. My buffers are from vendors. My drill is from a vendor. I get a lot of stuff. My lamps are from vendors. My, what is that called? My dust collector is from a vendor. Okay? And the reason being, they will sell you things at wholesale price. You will get things way cheaper than going on Amazon or to these, you know, maybe even smaller brands or whatever, paying their price for their labeling and manufacturing and all that other stuff. You can go straight to the source and pay that price instead. It's so much cheaper. And even though sometimes it takes a little bit longer, depending on what you order, it's worth the wait, because I just bought new nail files maybe like a month or two ago, but before that I haven't purchased files in almost a year. Like, there are so many things that I don't purchase anymore because of that. All of my acrylic powders and stuff like that are from suppliers. If you decide to, it is a great investment, and I would never sit there and tell somebody to do such a thing if it wasn't. And all of these suppliers that you buy your stuff from, like D&D, McCart, even smaller brands like the Nail Vault, like other just smaller brands I can't think of right now, on Instagram, we all have vendors. That's where they all come from. So I just want to let you know that, like, if you decide to, it's a great investment and you save so much money. Just to make it clear, yes, you can find high quality products that are cheaper. I barely ever touch my Valentino stuff. Barely. And I barely touch my A-Press stuff. Like, things like that I almost never touch. And I kid you not, like, the quality of my nails, people wouldn't look and be like, yeah, that was D&D. Yeah, that was a $5 product. People don't know. And clients, they don't know. And they don't care. Okay? All clients care about is if the nails are nice and if they're going to last and if it's worth their coin. And that's all they care about. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Also, you want to figure out your price, right? How much are you charging, and basically if you're charging enough or if you're charging too much for where you're at. To figure out your price, you want to analyze other service providers in your area. So, like, for example, I'm in New York. So usually the base price for nails typically starts around $85 to $100 starting for a plain set, short. Right? And that doesn't even include, like, if it was a Russian manicure, things like that. But typically they start at least at $100. If you're a nail tech and you're super good in an area like mine and you're charging $55 for a nail set, even if you're fully booked, there's a reason why you're fully booked. Granted, if your work is good. Granted, if everything else, it's because of your price. Depending on the type of person you want to think of or who you want to categorize yourself as, some people are going to only book you because of your price. And personally, I don't want to be that nail tech that people book me only because of my price. I want people to book me because of the quality, because they value my work, because they value my time, and things like that. Because that is so much more important to me, in my opinion. Because when things go left and I'm not feeling well, they don't act crazy. They are way more like understanding and things like that. And it's the same way vice versa, because I charge enough to where I am saving and I'm making sure that when I have to call out because if something happens or if I get a cancellation or something just happens to happen, I'm good. So you want to do the same thing for what you're doing as well. Especially you want to put in consideration on how long it's taking for you to do a set. So we're going to talk about that later, but I just want you to keep that in mind. You also want to be realistic about yourself. You want your prices to match your set skill, your workspace, your studio rent, your inventory price, things like that, okay? Yes, if you are home-based, you can still charge over $100 for nails. Whoever told you that you cannot do that, they just don't want to see you win, babes. It's very, very, very much possible to charge however. If you want to charge $500, girl, charge whatever you want. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your space. But you want to make sure that your client is walking into a nice, clean, comfortable space every single time, regardless if you're in a shop, in a home, studio. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you want your client to make sure they don't complain and say things like she's dirty. Yeah, she charged me $200 for a nail set, but she's disgusting. Yeah, that sounds terrible. You want to be realistic to your skill set. All right. If you're a beginner, you probably shouldn't charge $100 starting price. If their nails aren't lasting, you probably shouldn't charge that much. Get your practice up there. Keep practicing. Take classes. Do whatever you got to do, babes. But at the end of the day, just be a little bit more realistic with yourself. So when you start trying to figure out why people are not booking you, it makes sense, you know? So let's go and talk about how much you're making when it comes down to how long it takes for you to do a set. Let me give you guys an example, and I'm gonna do this on my iPad so we can kind of see like exactly what I mean. I could break this down for you. If you charge $50 for a French tip, right? And it takes you about $200 to complete, you're getting about $25 an hour. But remember, that does not include the overhead cost of anything. That does not include your rent, your monomer, your inventory, your anything that you put your money into your business. It does not include that, okay? You want to be able to make sure that you're including that in your hourly wage so you can actually see how much you're actually making month by month, week by week, day by day, hour by hour. I'm just saying, like, literally. You want to make sure you can really figure that out. You want to see how long you're taking per service, how much you're charging, and how much you spend every single month. You want to put those things into consideration when you're trying to figure out your price. That does not include your skill level and all the other things that we were just talking about. But when it comes just solely down to your pricing, you have to make sure you think about those things and put those things in consideration. I'm going to open up the iPad. Remember, like I said, if you charge $50 for French tip and it takes about 2 hours to complete, you're making about $25 an hour per service, right? So let's just say now you work for 6 hours. That's going to give you 3 clients. 3 clients. Yay, we're fully booked. Okay, so now, boom, we're going to go ahead and we're going to times that by 3 is $150. Remember, that's how much we're making for the day. That's how much we made. Let's do that by 5. Now, so we're gonna times that total wage by 5 days. Okay, let's say we worked 5 days that week. 150. Remember, this is the total, and this is the days worked. We made $750 all week. Okay. So now let's just say, okay, cool. Some people might think that's cool. $750 for just that 1 week. And now we have to go ahead and we have to include how much for the month. Okay, we're gonna do more math. $750 for the week. And we're gonna times that by 4 weeks. 750 times 4 is gonna give us $3,000 a month. That's if you wanna go ahead and you wanna charge $50, right? That $3,000 that you're making, what is that gonna get you? Let's go back and let's think about how much money you're spending per month. Let's just say our monthly spending on nails is $500 a month, right? That's going to include nail files, polish, brush, buffers, monomer, gel, base coat, top coat, all of that stuff, okay? Because even if you're go ahead and you're buying bulk items, like for example a big thing of top coat, which is $50 if you're getting it from Amazon and not from a supplier, big thing of base coat, which is done with $50, right? That's already $100 right there. That doesn't include your polishes that you need to get your your main polishes, like your seasonal colors that are going to be running out, your white, your black, things like that. So let's just go ahead and say we're spending $500 a month, okay? Approximately, more or less, on inventory. Other than inventory, you have to eat. For the month, you spend $300. How are you getting to work? Let's say, even if you take the bus, or maybe you're driving, maybe you're taking an Uber. So let's just say a week, we're spending about $50 a week on transportation. That a month is gonna give us $200 for transportation. Here, food and travel, okay? What about your personal expenses? What if you wanna buy something? What if you wanna take yourself out and treat yourself? We all deserve it, right? So let's go ahead, let's put personal. And let's just say we spend about something small, let's say $200. Taking yourself out to eat, buying yourself some nice clothes, maybe even getting something you need, like self-care, face wash, toothbrush. Let's just say it's $200, okay, for the whole month. Let's include rent for the girls that pay rent. I'm in New York. It's pretty expensive, but let's just say we're somewhere where the rent is cheaper. Let's say approximately I'm paying about $650 a month. Now we're gonna add this up. Okay, and this is just all I could think about off the top of my head. I spent basically about $1,850 on rent. That does not include if you drive. Travel probably more because you have to probably pay for gas. Probably have to pay for car insurance. Probably have to pay for car notes. Things like that go into play. Let's just say you're approximately spending more or less $1,850 a month on your business. We're gonna minus that by the $3,000 we just made. All you made in profit is gonna be $1,050, more or less. If you're in New York, you probably made less, a lot less than that, to be honest with you. That's why I try to say how important it is. You wanna make sure you can make more money. For example, I didn't even put into their website, right? For me, I have to spend monthly on my Square, my Qt, and my Shopify website, which is about over $100 a month, let alone all the apps I have to pay for, like CapCut, ManyChat. All of these things that I have to pay for are really like adding up. So I spend about $300 a month on just subscriptions, let alone insurance, all the other things that you have that come into play, right? So you, like I said, you want to think about these things. You can see exactly how much to be charging clients, so you know exactly how much to take home. So now let's get on the next topic. If y'all want a part 2 on any of these subjects, I can definitely for sure go more of an in-depth on these, but let's just talk about how to get clients. First thing I always tell people is that if you are not home-based, if you're in a public area, make a Google profile. Make a Google profile, y'all. It comes in clutch so much. When people are doing things like searching nail techs near me, nail salons near me, hairstylists near me, you will be coming up. So it won't just be like they have to go on Instagram and find all these hidden hashtags in order to find you. Google will do all the work for you. There's so many people I have found, or so many clients that have booked me from Google. Get a easy booking site. Like, it's so slept on. Get rid of that DM to book in your bio, babes. We're about to be in 2026 now. We're not in 2016. It's time to give it up. Take time out your day to go ahead and make a website. If y'all want a video on how to make a website, I could easily do that for you. You won't have to answer so many DMs or things like that because it will all be on your website, and it will save you time and the client's time too, because if I need my hair done, I need my hair done. Okay, I'm not looking around waiting for a message. Okay, I need to know exactly how much you're charging now. You want to post on all different social media platforms, because one person might have one platform and might not have the other. One person might have TikTok and I have Instagram. My person might not have either and only have YouTube Shorts. So it's a good way to go ahead and just make sure that you're staying active on social media. And also, clients like to see that stuff. Like, if you're not posting on social media, I'm gonna assume you're not booked, or that you're not working, or your business is closed or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna want to book you, so I'm gonna want to go on your page and look and analyze your page and see what's going on your page. And like I always tell people, your social media page is basically like your portfolio, your first impression to these clients. So you want to make sure that you're always like keeping up your social media platform up to par. You have no idea who will be seeing you. Do a easy checkout system. So for example, you could do tap, or cash. I like to do tap and cash and Zelle sometimes, but not really. I mainly like to keep it tap and just cash only. I use Square, which is a very universal checking out system, so it allows clients to use Cash App and things like that as well without me having for them to actually having to cash at me. They just go ahead and scan this QR code and it goes straight into my deposits. And then again, always I have cash as an option, but I've never been a cash only or like a debit only type of girl because it's just good to give people options. A lot of people don't really have time to go to the bank, and some people don't really have bank cards sometimes. Like, just saves the headache on you and your client's part and allows you to be more available, and will definitely separate you from other people because there are still a lot of cash only service providers. You can also have a loyalty system, which is the perfect way to keep these clients coming in. I use Square again for my loyalty system, and it allows me to send SMS marketing and things like that I could definitely talk about in a whole nother video. These people, they spend their hard-earned money when it comes down to spend it for their nails or just any service period. So it's just nice to reward them and give them a nice little thank you. So every 10 visits, I give my clients a good percentage off, and that's their little way of saying thank you. And I also sometimes just randomly will send out messages. If they write a review or if they do X, Y, and Z, they'll get a discount. So it's just a good way to keep people coming in because people love discounts. I love discounts. So why would I not give a discount? And when you think about it, so you have to stop being so small-minded because even these million-dollar companies have discounts and sales. They don't, like, they just, everybody has a sale somehow, some way, especially during the holidays. So it's a good way to give back to people, especially when they're at the end of the day, they're using their hard-earned money to support you. So think about that. Also, I like to have my clients pre-book for the next month. So while they're leaving, I like to make sure that they know that at the end of the day, they have a nail enhancement on. They want to keep this maintained. I'm not telling you you have to spend $200 on your next service. To make sure they come in at least every 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever works for them. But typically my clients, since they're regulars now, they know how long it takes until their nails are about to lift. So while they're here, I just make them pre-book for their next appointment, and it just allows to make sure my calendar is full, their nails are maintained. Now we're not having problems. Because, at the end of the day, life be lifing, and sometimes, you wait until the very last second for you to get services done. Now you look and your nails are falling off the bone. And we don't want that, right? So I just like to go ahead and, keep my girls up to par. Some girls need a little structure, and I have no problem with it. As long as I'm booked, I have no problem with helping my girls out. So, at the end of the day, and then, their nails are still in good condition. So, yeah, if I can help them, I'm going to help them, and make sure you do that too, because you never know. Some clients really do appreciate the pre-booking and all. And ever since I've been doing it, they love it. It helps them. So yeah, you want to create a schedule that works for you and your clients. I did move my schedule around to accommodate my clients. They typically like coming in on the weekends. I work Saturdays and Sundays, which sometimes sucks, but it's totally fine. It's my most booked out days of the week, so I really don't really care. Weekends work the best for my clients, so it's fine at the end of the day. And it ends up helping me just stay on track anyways with other things I have going on. So again, you want to make sure you have a schedule that works for you and your clients, but obviously it's just for you as well, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work for your clients, you can always replace the clients and things like that. But make sure it's working for you, and you set hours that work for you as well. You don't want to be super available for anybody, because then people are going to take advantage of that. So just make sure you have set hours and set days and keep that going on. And then also communicate with your clients if you're going to be switching your schedule around, switching your hours around, opening days, closing days, or whatever, because it just allows them to know in advance when to book, so they don't cheat on you. Okay, think about that. What you can also do as a nail technician is you can also do things like host classes, workshops. You can even do things such as creating content online, making videos like me. You can also do things such as creating digital ebooks, selling things like press-ons, nail files, top coat, aprons. The world is yours. Nail mugs, nail sweaters. You can make digital products that will help you, and you don't even have to have the product with you physically. There are so many ways that you can generate more income. You can do things also like selling cuticle oil, selling soak-off kits, aftercare kits to these clients, scrubs, things like that. So when clients are here, instead of them going to the store, they can just buy it directly literally from you. They will love doing that regardless at the end of the day. Let me know if these things helped, and these tips are things that I do myself. Okay, guys, if you want a part 2 or more in depth on any of these subjects, let me know, because at the end of the day, like I said, I did just jot these things down, and I'm kind of just talking as I go. I have no problem making an in-depth video of these segments, and so we can kind of dig deeper, and I can really show you guys exactly how to make more income as as a solo nail technician. It's very, very much possible, which is why it leads me to the last thing, which is lastly, just be patient, guys. At the end of the day, this is not a race. I know it might feel that way, especially with social media and with people going around posting how much they make, how they're booked, things like that. But I kid you not, I promise you, even your favorite nail tech and your favorite hairstylist be having slow days, okay? Like, things happen. We're all human at the end of the day. And having a business, it is hard out here having a business. I swear sometimes I'd be really just wondering why I didn't just clock in and get a 9-to-5, child. Go ahead, be patient, and also learn how to save your money as a solo business owner, because at the end of the day, when you're not booked, when you don't got no money, you need to make sure you have money to reach into when you need to. So while you're even paying yourself out month by month, week by week, however way you're paying yourself out, make sure you're also paying yourself out by putting in your money into stocks, high yield savings accounts, even making sure you're even taking advantage of putting money into your Roth IRA, because when we get old, we gonna need some money. So make sure we have that set in there, okay? So it also is gonna allow you to, it adds interest, so it's gonna it's gonna grow over time as the money sits in there. So it's good to make sure you're just putting money away regardless, and just adding that is as in a necessity when you're paying yourself out. I literally, every single time I pay myself out, I add money into my stocks and things like that, because it just helps me in the long run. So go ahead, make sure you're utilizing that. Be patient and take care of yourself. I love you guys. Thank you so much you made it to the end of the video. Let me know if you want a part 2. I have absolutely no problem making one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.